Ben, last year you achieved one of your ambitions, sponsoring the Greyhound Derby. Obviously, it means a lot to you, but tell us just how much.
Well, when I was a kid, I used to say to Lofty, Martin Chapman, who was he used to clerk for Beau Brown at Hove Dogs, and he was one of my first teachers of, how the book worked and how clerking worked, and he was a good judge. He'd teach me a lot about dog racing and pricing a race up, doing the order of the race first, and pricing it up. And I always used to say to Lofty, one day we're going to be a bookmaker in the front line at Cheltenham, and we're going to bet at the Greyhound Derby. And we did both, and we also sponsored the Greyhound Derby. And look, I'm delighted to have been able to give back something to a sport that has given me so many friends, so many happy memories, and I think that in my life, I've had a lot of ups and downs. Look, you make friends, you lose friends. It's a tough game. But dog racing has been a real passion of mine. I love just to go to the dogs socially and have a bite to eat. I wouldn't go to horse racing socially or for a day out. It doesn't do it for me, but I love to watch a dog run. I love the atmosphere at the dogs, and I feel very, very, very lucky.
And how do you feel as Towcester as a venue?
I think that the effort that the management team put in at Towcester is absolutely fantastic. I think Lord Hesketh is, he's such a dapper, charismatic, driven leader. Kevin Ackerman and Mick Livesey, I think that they'd crawl over nails for Lord H. The track gleams. The restaurant is excellent. The service in the restaurant is superb. There's Mayfair service. That track at night, when it gets dark and it's lit up, it looks superb. Look, you've got to get used to it. When you go there, it is further away. Yes, it hasn't got that Romford atmosphere where you're locked in over the track. But they do it so well there. And really, for the first attempt for the 2017 Derby, to get 5,500 people in year one, it was just exceptional. And I believe that the Greyhound Derby will become an event like, say, the boat race or, the British Grand Prix or the British Open or, the snooker at the Crucible, the FA Cup final. It'll be Royal Ascot. It'll be something that people go to who aren't necessarily hugely interested in dog racing, but it's such a flagship night, like, say, Ladies' Day at Royal Ascot or the Cup final or whatever, or the boat race, that they go to that because they go to the Greyhound Derby final because it's a great show, and that's where the sport gives of its best. And the bookmakers at the track, the trainers, the hospitality staff, and particularly the management team all come together at Towcester to make a brilliant derby, and I cannot wait for this year.
So that's a very positive look on what's happened, but there's been a very sad decline, especially in the metropolitan tracks in recent years. Do you put that down solely to the value of the real estate that they used to sit on, or is there something else that's happened?
Well, I think that it's the value of the real estate, the land, that has made the other things happen. Let's think about other areas of the game. If you go into, say, a Coral's betting shop, I always think they fit their betting shops beautifully. I think that some betting shops on the high street, they are definitely the best shops of any type of industry on the high street. Look at what they spend on the fit. It's exceptional. You know, you go to a box at Royal Ascot. You know, there's art on the walls. The viewing is superb. They've spent millions of pounds on the design. The same for bingo halls. These are big businesses. You go to a lot of dog tracks, particularly at ones that have been owned by the GRA. Well, the land's worth a lot of money. It suits them to run it down. I mean, it's a terrible, terrible thing to say. Wimbledon, as a, you know, properly brought up to standard, like say a Toaster, if you put Toaster where Wimbledon Dog Track was, they would have had 5,000 people there every night. People from all over the world, when they came to London, Wimbledon Dogs on a Saturday night was full of tourists who wanted to have a night at the dogs. But if you went into the toilets, they were like First World War latrines, and it was very, very sad that the owners of the track let it go that way. But it suited them to run it down, say to everybody they couldn't make it pay, and then sell these places to build lots of very small and overpriced flats. I think that Betfair have not helped the game. At Walthamstow, when Betfair came in, I did my very best to make sure that Betfair was banned in the ring. It was banned. The Chandlers listened. This was when the racing was on TV. Everybody at the track said when the racing was on TV, this is fantastic, we can stay at home and play on Betfair. And a few people looked at this and said, well, the track's going to close then. 18 months later, track closes. I think that punters have, you know, that in the early days of Betfair, they believed all the punters' pal waffle. They fell for that. They wanted to fall for it. They liked Betfair, so they've been part of that. They've helped it happen, and tracks have suffered because people are playing on the machine at home instead of going to the track, using the bookmaker, spending money in the bar, and supporting the game. And you can only take so much before there's nothing left. And sadly, that's what's happened. And you look at Betfair, the punters fell. They fell for all of Betfair. We like punters who win, winners welcome, all of that utter rubbish. And now they're paying premium charge. They're paying more commission than they used to, and half the dog tracks have closed. So very sad. And Betfair don't pay any levy to the game. So there we go. But the punters, they must have wanted it to happen because they let it happen and they supported it.
One of the sad things, extra sad things about what's happened is the now dearth of characters that used to be at dog tracks. You must have some special memories of some special characters back in the day.
Do you know something? I'm look. There's some things to agree with there, but there's some things not to agree with. I think that people talk about the good old days. They talk about when the game was good. Look, the game hasn't died. The game has moved on. Bookmakers used to take fortunes in the betting ring, fortunes on the rails, particularly say in the 9p days, and now, look, there's much more money being gambled than there ever was then, but it's online and people are betting on apps and all the rest of it. Sadly, the game has moved away from the betting ring and independent bookmakers who, as I said earlier, I love the camaraderie of the ring. I like to always be talking and socialising with other independent bookmakers. And it's very, very sad. But look, I don't think we should always be talking about the good old days and weren't there so many characters. If you go to Royal Ascot and Cheltenham now, it gets busier every year. If you're smart, if you've got a pitch in a half-decent position, you will take fantastic money at Cheltenham and Royal Ascot, and you will still meet and do business with some great punters and you'll work alongside some really, really professional and impressive bookmakers. So never mind the good old days. Let's make some happy memories.
As well as being a well-known and well-respected bookmaker, you're also a well-known gastronome. Your vlogs get 4-figure views on a regular basis. When did the passion for culinary delight start?
Well, I'll tell you why I do it. One of the reasons I started doing it is because when the racing used to be on Channel 4, they used to come up 10 minutes before and they'd say, right, we're going to come up to you in 10 minutes and we're going to say, right, okay, Forheen's running, it's even money, what have you laid of Forheen? And what big bets have you taken, and what's your lay of the day? So you could be all ready for that, and then they'd come over and you'd say your bit. Now on ITV, you're working away, busy. As I said, it's busier and busier at Royal Ascot and Cheltenham every year, and suddenly Matt Chapman's there with the microphone in your face and asking you a question. Now. I started doing my food vlogs because Belinda would hold up the camera, and at first I'd say, oh no, I'm not ready. Oh, hang on, there's some people looking, or I need to think about what I'm going to say. And now she holds up the camera, she says 3, 2, 1, and I do my vlog. And it gives me practice, so when they come up, if it's a TV or radio person or whatever, and they put the microphone straight in my face, I'm ready to talk. I just do it, and I feel relaxed. But anyway, it's good fun. I love eating out. I love going to new places. And look, I go out 3 nights a week for work. So I go out with people that I'm doing business with. It's fun to talk to them, fun to go to their favourite restaurants or take them to my favourite restaurants, to try new places, whether it be pie and mash for a fiver or somewhere fancy in Mayfair. Look, it's a bit of fun, it's a hobby, and why not?
Have you had any negative feedback from any of the restaurants you've been less than complimentary about?
No, I haven't, but I've had nice feedback from ones that I've been nice about. I don't like to criticise restaurants I go to, because I am going to independent restaurants that are family owned. I mean, look, of course there's going to be the odd shocker, but on the whole, I try to get a bit of a card before I go out and get my card marked from a few shrewdies as to where I should be eating.